In today's video, we're going to go over 3 things that poor people are wasting money on. Hi everyone, my name is Helen. Welcome to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be going over 3 things that poor people are wasting money on, and these are the types of things that if you do them sparingly, it's not really a problem, but when you're doing them too often, it really can become a detriment to your finances, particularly because these are small things that you may overlook when you are looking at your finances. So if you like content like this, please remember to like and subscribe. It helps the channel to grow. The first thing that poor people tend to waste money on that you may be overlooking is things like haircuts, your nails, makeup, all these kind of beauty things that you do to maintain your appearance, but you can really get out of control. So what do I mean? When I'm thinking about ways that people are wasting money, I'm thinking things like getting a haircut too often, or going and getting your hair done for just random occasions, not really things that are important or things that it's a special occasion, so you're getting it done, but just a day-to-day, I'm going to get my hair blown out because I feel like it, rather than for something that is a special occasion. Now, of course, if you're going to go get your hair cut once in a while, that's not really a problem, and it is important at times to go and get a haircut, of course. But this is just an example of someone that my husband used to work with, and she would go and get her hair cut every single week. And a haircut is not a cheap thing to do. If you're going and getting your hair professionally cut every single week, you're, first of all, not even letting your hair grow out in the first place, so it's not even necessary to get your hair cut that often. But you're also wasting a lot of money. She was typically spending more than $30 per haircut just for the smallest of trims, which I know that's an extreme example, but sometimes you have to think about how much you're actually spending and how often you're doing things. Now, in my case, I have long hair, so I don't get my hair cut that often. I probably get my hair cut maybe once a year, maybe twice a year. So for me, it's not really a big problem, but I have known people who get their hair cut very often. And this is particularly common for those who have shorter hair. So if you're finding yourself worrying about your finances and you are going and getting your hair cut, blown out, you're getting your nails done, or you're doing any of these kind of things, you should really take into account that these activities and these actions are not necessary for your day-to-day life. You can always do certain things at home. For example, if you want to get your nails done, you can have a friend's party and have all of your girlfriends come over and do your nails together, rather than going to a parlor and doing it by yourself and make it a fun event for your friends. The thing about beauty trends is that they come and go, so the things that you might want to do now, that's not necessarily something you would want to maintain. And in particular, if you're talking about things like your nails, you can always do that at home. You can do press-on nails at home. You can just do nail polish at home. Maybe make it a time for you to enjoy with your friends or with family members, rather than making it something where you go out, you go to the beauty parlor and you spend a lot of money on your nails. Maybe do it at home. The same with your hair. If it's not something like a haircut, but you're talking about a different style, maybe try to learn those styles at home. It will save you a lot of money, and it's really going to be beneficial for your future. The next thing that poor people tend to waste money on when you're talking about expenses that you may be overlooking is coffee at a coffee shop. Now, I know that this one is a particular favorite for a lot of people, is to go to a coffee shop, maybe on your way to work, and get a cup of coffee. The problem is that a cup of coffee at a coffee shop is very, very expensive. If you compare it to the cost of making your coffee at home, it's not even a contest. It's very expensive to buy coffee at a coffee shop. Now, in my case, I almost never buy coffee at a coffee shop, and it had been several years since I'd done so. So the last time when I bought coffee there, I was surprised at how expensive it has become. I was looking at a normal cup of coffee, just a basic cup of coffee, and it was more than $3. And I was so surprised at how much the price had gone up, because the last time I had gotten coffee at a coffee shop, it was only about $1. So when I look at this price increase, and I think I could buy an entire bag of coffee that will last me like 3 or 4 weeks for around $6 to $8, depending on what kind of coffee you prefer, it really seems kind of foolish to buy a single cup of coffee for $3. You only have to do about 3 to 4 cups of coffee, and you've already paid for an entire 3 to 4 weeks of coffee worth of coffee grounds that you were to buy in the store. So in my view, buying coffee at a coffee shop outside of an occasional situation, or maybe you're traveling, it really is kind of a foolish thing to be doing on a day-to-day basis. I think when it comes to coffee, until you reach a certain state of financial stability, you really should be making that at home and avoiding the coffee shops outside of situations where maybe you're traveling or you're going somewhere on a trip. The thing you have to keep in mind when it comes to buying coffee at a coffee shop is that $4 to $5 purchase, or maybe $3 if you're getting a very basic coffee, that adds up very, very quickly. Over the course of a single month, you might be spending as much as $150 per month on that coffee. And when you think about it from the perspective of finance, it's really detrimental to your goals, because that $150 per month, that adds up to more than $1,800 by the end of the year. And if you really think about it, that $1,800 by the end of the year going into investments is going to compound and make a lot more money. And even just from the savings perspective, after 10 years, you would have enough money to pay for a down payment on a house. So when you think about it from that perspective, and then you think it's even worse because you're not getting that compound interest from your investments, you really want to take a step back when it comes to buying coffee day to day at a coffee shop. The final thing that I want to touch on in this video when it comes to things that poor people are wasting money on is lottery tickets. Now, I understand that it can be really interesting to buy a lottery ticket when the lottery is very high. Everyone wants to jump in on that, and I get that. But the problem is, a lot of people who are struggling with their finances are trying to buy lottery tickets as a get out of jail free card type of situation. They're not buying the lottery tickets in order to really just buy it for fun, knowing that they're going to lose, but they're buying it in large quantities as an act of desperation. I am sure that pretty much anyone watching this video can think of at least one person they know, friend, family, acquaintance, coworker, something like that, that is buying a massive amount of lottery tickets on a regular basis. Now, I'm not talking about just when the lottery is very high and people are like, I want to at least have a few tickets because maybe I might win. But people who are doing this on a weekly basis, maybe they're spending a large percentage of their money on lottery tickets. The thing that you have to keep in mind when it comes to lottery tickets is that you are very unlikely to make more money on those lottery tickets than what you are spending. Now, of course, if you buy a lottery ticket, you have the potential to win the lottery. However, the vast majority of people will never win the lottery. And in fact, most people will never even come close to winning the lottery or even the amount of money that they put into the lottery. So keeping that in mind, if you want to buy a lottery ticket here and there, that's fine. But be a little bit careful in how you're going about it. If you're going to buy lottery tickets on a regular basis, hoping that that will be your retirement plan, I would take a step back and reevaluate your financial goals. It is much easier to take that money that you're putting into lottery tickets and invest it and actually have some returns on that investment and learn better savings habits than to hope that you will win the lottery and really see any kind of results. So that's one of the things you have to keep in mind. When it comes to the lottery, it is very much a gamble and your odds are very low. If you find yourself in a situation where you're buying a lot of lottery tickets, you might want to take a step back and reevaluate why you are doing so. It is far better for you to put that money into something like saving a retirement account, or maybe putting that money into an emergency fund instead of buying lottery tickets, so that you are no longer feeling financially strapped. That's it for today's video. If you guys like the video, please subscribe and I will see you in the next one.